Diana and Actaeon. Now Thebes stood strong, now Cadmus might have seemed blessed in his exile. He had won for bride the child of Mars and Venus. Add besides from such a glorious wife a dynasty, so many sons and daughters, grandsons too, dear links of love, by now indeed young men. But yet in truth one ever must await a man's last day, nor count him fortunate before he dies, and the last rites are paid. In his prosperity a grandson first was source of Cadmus' sorrow, whose young brow sprouted outlandish antlers, and the hounds, his hounds, were sated with their master's blood. Though if you ponder wisely you will find the fault was fortune's, and no guilt that day, for what guilt can it be to lose one's way? Upon a mountainside whose woodland coverts were stained with many a kill of varied game, the shining noon had narrowed all the shade, and midway at his zenith stood the sun. Then young Actaeon was content. He called his comrades as they roamed the lonely woods. Come, friends, our nets are wet, our javelins drip with our quarry's blood. Today has brought success enough. Tomorrow, when the dawn on saffron wheels leads on another day, we'll start our work again. Now the sun shines halfway upon his journey, and his rays crack the parched countryside. Take up your nets. Here let us end the work in hand. The men obeyed his words and rested from their toil. There was a valley clothed in hanging woods of pine and cypress, named Gargaphiae, sacred to chaste Diana, huntress queen. Deep in its farthest comb, framed by the woods, a cave lay hid, not fashioned by man's art, but nature's talent copied artistry, for in the living limestone she had carved a natural arch, and there a limpid spring flowed lightly babbling into a wide pool, its waters girdled with a grassy sward. Here, tired after the hunt, the goddess loved her nymphs to bathe her with the water's balm. Reaching the cave, she gave her spear and quiver and bow unstrung to an attendant nymph. Others received her robes over their arms. Two loosed her sandals. More expert than these, Crocale tied the hair loose on her shoulders into a knot, her own hair falling free. Then Nephele and Hyale and Rhanes and Phiale and Secus brought the water in brimming jars and poured it over her. And while Titania bathed there in the pool, her loved familiar pool, it chanced Actaeon, the day's hunt finished, idly wandering through unknown clearings of the forest, found the sacred grove. So the fates guided him, and came upon the cool damp cave. At once seeing a man, all naked as they were, the nymphs beating their breasts filled the whole grove with sudden screams, and clustered round Diana to clothe her body with their own. But she stood taller, a head taller than them all, and as the clouds are colored when the sun glows late, and low or like the crimson dawn, so deeply blushed Diana, caught unclothed. Her troop pressed close about her, but she turned aside, and looking backwards, would she had her arrows ready. All she had, the water, she seized and flung it in the young man's face, and as the avenging downpour drenched his hair, she added words that warned of doom. Now tell you saw me here naked without my clothes, if you can tell at all. With that one threat, antlers she raised upon his dripping head, lengthened his neck, pointed his ears, transformed his hands to hooves, arms to long legs, and draped his body with a dappled hide, and last set terror in his heart. Actaeon fled, royal Actaeon, and marveled in his flight at his new leaping speed. But when he saw his head and antlers mirrored in a stream, he tried to say, alas, but no words came. He groaned, that was his voice. The tears rolled down on cheeks not his. All changed except his mind. What should he do? Go home, back to the palace, or stay in hiding in the forest? Shame forbade the first decision, fear the other.